Did you know that there are more than 100 million bugs on your apple? Find out on this next episode of Digest This.
Welcome to Digest This, the show that helps you revolutionize your digestive health. Here are your hosts, Dr. Liz Cruz and Tina Nunziato.
Hello, and welcome to Digest This.
Are you done chewing your
I'm
apple?
Dr. Liz Cruz, and this is Tina Nunziato sitting right here by my side. I am eating an apple, okay, because our episode today is about apples. And I was like, what better prop for those of you that are watching us on YouTube? This is a very good apple.
And I just want to mention before we jump into this podcast that we actually did a podcast on apples back on August 11th of 2022. You can go back and listen to that podcast about an apple a day keeps the doctor away. We talked about that proverb and just kind of had some fun with it and talked about a lot of the vitamins and minerals that are in apples and why they're so healthy for you. But recently, Dr. Cruz was reading about the bacteria found on the apple. So we wanted to spend some time talking about that because we did not address that.
We did not.
2022.
And I'm going to admit that I didn't even know there were that many bacteria on an apple. Did you?
No.
Yeah, I had no idea. Yeah, I mean, I was like, actually, I was listening to something on YouTube, and one of the speakers was like, yeah, well, an apple has 100 million bacteria. I was like, whoa. I rewound that like two or three times. I went back. I was like, did I hear this right? And then I told Tina, I was like, honey, did you know that apples have 100 million bacteria?
It's better than a probiotic.
Yeah, it's like your own little probiotic, okay?
Right. Which probably goes back to the proverb. I mean, we kind of overanalyzed that proverb back in 2022.
We
didn't
did.
mention anything about the bacteria, but I kind of feel like now it's like if you eat an apple every day and you get that much healthy bacteria.
Exactly.
Like, no wonder why it keeps the doctor away.
Exactly. You're getting so I did just a little research, not a lot. I mean, I just looked up a few things, and sure enough, several different things popped up on Google. And basically, what I did learn was that the majority of the bacteria, okay, so yes, 100 million, some said 90, some said 100. And nonetheless, it's a ton of bacteria. And that bacteria, the majority is within the core of the apple and the seeds that are in the core.
Most of the part you don't eat.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. The stuff that you don't eat. And there was a study in there where they did studies to look at the content of bacteria on every part of the apple. The stem, the core, the seeds, the peel, the pulp. Okay, so the body of the apple, the pulp. So apparently there's about 10 million bacteria in the pulp itself, so in the meaty part that we eat, but the majority of it is in the stem.
Didn't you say
the
there was
core.
also some on the skin
Yes,
of the apple?
Yes, yeah, and actually they also have done studies where they look at the type of bacteria that is on there, and so you have, and they separated between organic and conventional, which I'm guessing is non-organic. And they found that the conventional apples, the non-organic apples, they were tending to culture some of the bacteria that tend to be more pathogenic, so that can cause symptoms, diarrhea. In fact, I believe like Shigella was one of them. I mean, so they were basically getting some of that bacteria, whereas in the organic apple, they were culturing bacteria like lactobacillus, which is actually a really healthy bacteria. So, they were talking about that and how, eating the core and the seeds, not only will you get a lot of bacteria, good bacteria, but also that's where a lot of the source of flavonoids, which are the polyphenols that you find. Those, like, that's what makes a lot of fresh vegetable and fruit good. Like your onions, your berries. There, a lot of these are very high in these polyphenols, which are really good for you. They're antibacterial, they're like antioxidants, anti-cancer. So just super foods, right? They're under the category of superfoods.
Yeah, and I guess technically you could, if you blended your apple in a smoothie. I know I have watched people just cut an apple, like just quarter it, and just throw it in the blender,
That's
seeds
right.
and everything, right? So in that case, you would be getting the core of the apple.
That's
with
right.
The seeds. Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to remember. I think maybe as a kid, I may have eaten the core and the seeds just because, just to see. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, have you ever eaten a core and the seeds?
Never, because I was always told that an apple tree would grow in my stomach. Same with watermelon seeds.
Oh yes.
I was so deathly afraid of eating a watermelon seed because I was afraid I would grow a watermelon.
A big watermelon
in my stomach. Yes.
A big watermelon. Well. Yeah. Tina,
yes.
This next week I challenge you to eat an entire apple. Don't eat the stem. I think the stem would be really hard, but I challenge you to eat the core and the seeds. I'm going to do it.
I'm going to try.
Okay. I'm going to try because I can't remember. It's been too long. I know I've done it as a kid, and I don't know if the seeds are bitter or what they taste like, but I think that if you chew it all together with some apple core,
Can I just throw it in my smoothie?
Yeah,
Please.
you can. We can throw it in the smoothie.
Okay.
Yeah, but I just thought that it was fascinating, and I had to just kind of look it up for myself because who knew that an apple could have so much bacteria?
Yeah.
And I mean, it's crazy. And our bodies, your intestine, I mean, it is the home to trillions of bacteria. And keeping the balance in that flora, on the good side is hard. Mm-hmm. It's hard because we've talked about this before, but you throw that balance off by, foods that you eat, drinks that you drink, especially sugary stuff, refined food, processed food, stress.
Mm-hmm. Stress is huge for throwing off your bacteria. And, who is not stressed?
Exactly.
Raise your hand if you're not stressed. Oh, look, no one's raising their hand.
Yeah, stress, medicines, even medicines that you take over the counter, like anti-inflammatory medicines like Motrin, Advil, ibuprofen. Who doesn't take one of those every once in a while? I mean, or some people take it regularly for aches and pains. Even some of the medicines that we use for treating acid reflux, omeprazole, Prilosec, Nexium. I mean, all of that class of medicines, all of those medicines can really throw the balance off in your the flora in your intestine. And so it's really important to try as much as possible to keep it as healthy as possible. And how can you do that? In the foods that you eat, and also taking a probiotic every day. Taking a probiotic.
I mean, obviously taking a probiotic every day is the quick fix for especially people who are having issues. Of course, if you're not having issues, just eating the apple every day, right, to help give you that bacteria. But taking a probiotic and eating an apple, just gonna take it just that one step further. And there's plenty of foods out there that you can take to rebuild gut bacteria.
Exactly. Yeah. So
I think it's fascinating though that organic apples show a different type of bacteria than non-organic apples.
It is.
That is fascinating.
Yeah.
Shocking.
Yeah, and I don't know why that is. I didn't delve deeper into that, but it is interesting that the strains of bacteria do differ. Mm-hmm. So I think it's look. This is an easy thing, right? I mean, apples are everywhere. How easy is it just to eat an apple a day?
Well, when you mentioned it last night about the bacteria, the joke that the kids said was, well, imagine how many people touch the apple at the grocery store, right?
True.
Before you eat it. And it's true because I know when I'm shopping for apples, I probably pick up and look at least 20 apples to pick 4 or 5. Okay, so imagine how many other people are touching those apples. Now that's bad bacteria, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So you got to make sure you wash your apple first before you eat it to get the bad bacteria off to benefit from the good bacteria. So just be sure you're washing your apples.
Good point.
Yes.
Great point. Yeah. All right, very good. So if you want to connect with us, you can do that by finding us on our website, drlizcruz.com. There's a magenta color button on the homepage. You can click that and schedule a free 30-minute wellness consult. And yes, that is free, and you can do that from anywhere in the world because it's done over the phone. And so please check us out, connect with us. If you haven't rated us, please rate us and please give us a 5. It'll help other people just like you to find us faster. And lastly, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe so that you never miss an episode. I mean, who wants to miss an episode on apples? Thank you so much for joining us, and we will catch you on the next podcast.
Thank you for joining Dr. Liz Cruz and Tina Nunziato. To learn more about their revolutionary products and services, go online to www.drlizcruz.com.